would survive. Of course, Sui also didn't have much hope. The most terrifying thing about these insects is their endless numbers. In terms of combat strength alone, they are only average, but their huge numbers are the biggest and most deadly problem. However, within the insect race, there are also some elite units. Because of their vast numbers, some unusual and powerful creatures have emerged. These unusual creatures are mutant insects, often terrifying elite units. They are no weaker than hero units, even if only one in billions of insects becomes such a creature. There are quite a few of these mutant insects, even many. Now, Sui looked at the live scene in front of him. Countless insects rushing out of the yellow sand, screeching as they attacked the lion soldiers of the Lord. Flying insects covered the sky, swooping down to attack. A fierce slaughter had begun. 12 hours is too hard. Sui looked at the live broadcast in front of him. For a new lord, this was undoubtedly a life-threatening challenge. First, the troop numbers were insufficient. Second, the territory's defenses were weak. And finally, the strength of the troops was not enough. Although the Lion Men were a high-level 7th rank unit, their actual strength was only average. When they were exhausted, their levels ranged from Black Iron 7 stars to 8 stars. The only hero unit, the Golden Lion Man, was just Black Iron 9 stars. How long could they hold out against this tide of bugs? Retreat. Everyone back to the territory, the host lord shouted desperately. The insect invasion was something he hadn't expected. He just wanted to gain some popularity and make some money. The Lion Men roared, their bodies glowing with golden battle aura, a trait of orc units. Battle aura is a special feature, and orc units also have a universal talent called Frenzy. Frenzy can temporarily boost their strength, but it has obvious side effects. They lose their reason. After the frenzy ends, they become weak. Many Lion Men had entered frenzy, losing their minds and ignoring the Lord's commands. However, some Lion Men who hadn't entered frenzy still obeyed orders and followed the cracked door back into the Lord's territory. Upon returning, the host lord's face looked very grim. The crisis had just begun. Those bugs would eventually enter through the cracked door and reach his territory. At that point, he would have to make a choice. Either give up his lordship, surviving but becoming an ordinary person in the main world, with no purpose other than breeding, or fight to the death, holding on until the very end, perhaps even witnessing a miracle. Big bosses in the live stream. Does anyone have troop refresh recruitment cards for sale? Please, I'm willing to pay a high price, the host lord said in a deep voice. Sui watched the lord live streaming, his expression unchanged. The only reason for paying a high price for troop refresh cards was to recruit more troops. The more troops he had, the greater his chance of survival. As time passed, many other lords also traded with the live streamer lord, exchanging for troop refresh recruitment cards. The live streamer lord immediately began recruiting. One Lion Man after another emerged from the barracks. It's over, Sui looked at the live stream lord and said. The loyalty of these newly recruited Lion Men isn't very high. Most are around 50 or 60, and with his talent boost, at best, they might reach 65. This loyalty level was just average, but now, during a life-and-death crisis, the recruited Lion Men immediately sensed danger. Their loyalty was dropping rapidly, and their eyes looked at the Lord with suspicion. It's important to know that soldiers of any rank have their own thoughts and feelings. To these newly recruited units, this lord seemed like someone sending them to die. If it weren't for the Golden Lion hero unit, these new soldiers would have already attacked the lord. Now, the Lion Men's gazes were also filled with hostility toward the lord. The live stream lord knew that his recruitment strategy was problematic, but he had no choice. He needed to find a way to survive first. If everyone was going to die, what did loyalty matter? Suddenly, roars and screams echoed as the first insect stepped onto the lord's territory. His fate was already sealed. As time passed, many Lion Men fell. More and more insects crossed the rift and entered the lord's land. The live stream went dark. Sui looked at the black screen and shook his head. The lord's ending wasn't good. Either he died or lost his title as lord. There was no other outcome. Could he survive? Probably not. No powerful force was supporting him. His talents and units were decent, but just decent. They weren't worth the huge resources needed to save him, especially during the early, precious stages of a new lord. He simply wasn't worth it. Suyi stared at the dark screen in front of him. It was cruel and real, but this is the world of lords. If the live stream lord had fewer problems, bigger powers might have helped him, even if it came at a cost. But right now, this was the best outcome he could hope for. Unfortunately, the trouble he faced was too great, and saving him would require too many resources. It wasn't worth the cost, which is why no major power was willing to intervene. Bug race. Suyi's eyes flickered with interest. He wished he could encounter a bug world. Suyi was confident in his ability to handle a black iron-level dimensional world. He could even help Lily and the others reach the level of 9-star bronze. He just didn't know if he could activate the portal to do so. If he could find such a world, it would be a good thing for Suyi. Unlike other lords, he wasn't afraid of large groups of enemies. In fact, the more, the better. Suyi's soldiers were designed for quantity, which was ineffective for him. Only high quality could threaten him. As time passed, an hour went by. Suyi looked at his soldiers. All of them had advanced to 1-star bronze. Especially Dalmiz and Odysseus, who had also reached the bronze level. Their exclusive troops had also improved. The ones who reached bronze 5-star first, like Lily and others, had generally improved to around 5-star bronze. Lily and her team needed too many upgrade resources, far more than ordinary soldiers could handle. Ding! The void trial has ended. Evaluating. Ding! Evaluation complete. No casualties. 30,000 enemies killed. Rating: SSS. Ding! You received an SSS level Abyss difficulty treasure chest. The system's notification sounded. Suyi snapped back to focus and checked the system log. Did the number of invading monsters increase by 10,000 compared to yesterday? Suyi looked at the record on the system log. Yesterday, there were 20,000. Today, 30,000. Although the difficulty of the void invasion increases daily, the main reason is still the level of the Lord's Heart, Suyi thought with some clarity. He hadn't upgraded his Lord's Heart yesterday, yet the number of invaders increased today. This change was increasing day by day. Of course, if he upgraded the Lord's Heart, the difficulty would increase even more. Disassemble. Suyi directly used his authority. Ding! You disassembled 30,000 corpses and gained 4,000 source crystals. 4,000 source crystals is pretty good, Suyi said, looking at the crystals he obtained from disassembly. Then he gathered all the treasure chests scattered around his territory. There are a total of 8,000 bronze-level Abyss treasure chests. Ding! Do you want to open all 8,000 bronze-level Abyss treasure chests? The system's notification sounds. Open all, Suyi said, directly choosing to open all the chests in front of him. Ding! You have gained 10 advanced meat resource cards. Ding! You have gained 10 advanced wood resource cards. Ding! You have gained 10 advanced stone resource cards. Ding! You have gained 10 advanced iron or resource cards. Ding! You have gained 10 advanced copper or resource cards. Ding! You have gained 10 basic silver resource cards. Ding! You have gained 10 basic gold resource cards. Ding! You have gained 10 basic steel resource cards. A series of logs kept updating. Suyi began to organize and analyze. This time, the open chests contained 8 types of resources, each with 1,000 chests. This means each resource card was obtained 10,000 times. Not bad, Suyi said, storing the cards away. These resource cards will never run out in the market. Even if Suyi doesn't need them now, he can sell them to other lords later. But not now. Selling them now would mean selling at a low price. The advanced meat resource cards are currently the most used by Suyi, mainly because the territory's troops are increasing, especially the dragon troops, which need a lot of meat. Although the feast of wine and meat is unlimited, the territory and other troops also need food. The feast area is small, and even queuing takes a long time. As time passes, the food consumption in Suyi's territory increases daily. The advanced meat resource cards can't be sold cheaply anymore. After counting his gains, Suyi opened his private chat with a friend and sent a message. Otherworld Traveler. Boss, are you there? Lin Xiaoxiao responded immediately. Xiaoxiao Merchant. Boss, yes, I'm here. Otherworld Traveler. Approve the trade request. Xiaoxiao Merchant. Okay. Suyi transferred 2,000 source crystals to Lin Xiaoxiao. He still owed her 47,000 source crystals, but Suyi wasn't in a hurry to pay it back. 1 or 2,000 at a time, just slowly paying her back. If he paid it all at once, it would scare her. The resources in her hands are worth thousands of lords combined. Suyi is just one person. Don't forget, she is the heir to the great merchant guild. Among the new lords, many are her subordinates, which is the main reason for her strong power. After preparing everything, Suyi looked at his army, which was all resting. Lilith, Talus, Ista, Pangilia, Kesha, Dalmis, and Alades, come see me, Suyi said softly. Two figures appeared in front of Suyi. The first to arrive were Lilith and Ista. Then, a huge figure fell from the sky, Pangilia. Talus and Kesha followed closely, then Alades and Dalmis, riding winged horses. Go tell your troops to prepare. In 1 hour, I will open the rift gate to invade other worlds. Get ready for battle, Suyi said quietly. Hearing this, Lilith and the others looked happy. Invading other worlds? That was exactly what they wanted. Suyi's army includes many types of soldiers. Besides the Gene-Forbidden Army and Holy Angels, all others are passionate about war. The Gene-Forbidden Army mainly protects Suyi. The Holy Angels want to spread his teachings and shine his light, making other creatures see how great Suyi is and worship him. As for the other soldiers, original sin fallen angels, pure-blood fallen angels, they are all fallen angels. What else could they be? The ancient black gold dragon is a symbol of destruction. Valkyries are best at leading armies and are true war maniacs. They are beings of the end of all things, like the final moon. In the territory, besides the void trial, they are bored out of their minds. Having a place to fight and vent is a huge blessing for them. Lilith and the others began organizing their troops. Suyi also looked at the last treasure chest, an SSS level Abyss difficulty rating treasure chest. Ding! Do you want to open the SSS level Abyss difficulty rating treasure chest? The system's prompt sounded. Open it. Let me see what good stuff is inside, Suyi said eagerly, looking at the treasure chest. Ding! You obtained a purple blueprint. Blackstone battle armor. Ding! You obtained a purple blueprint. Flame gun. Ding! You have obtained the divine level spiritual root, the origin divine tree. Ding! You have acquired the exclusive secret treasure for the top-tier lord, the immortal soul jade. Suyi looked at the items he received. 2 purple blueprints, a blackstone battle armor, and a blazing flame spear. Like the wind-chasing bow he got earlier, these require skilled craftsmen to learn how to make. He quickly stored them in his personal space, leaving them to gather dust. Unfortunately, none of Suyi's soldiers can learn these items. The purple blueprints can produce weapons that are guaranteed to be at least gold level, and the best ones can forge diamond level weapons. This depends entirely on the skill of the craftsman. But even a gold level weapon is already very impressive. For example, 2 wind-chasing bows. One is gold level, the other is diamond level. Their special attribute effects are quite different. Although both are wind-chasing bows, their power is not the same. One blueprint represents a continuous supply of resources. Whether it's a gold level or diamond level weapon, many lords need a lot of resources to produce them. Not all lord soldiers come with legendary weapons. Only Suyi's special soldiers do. Other soldiers might have weapons, but they are usually average and replaceable. That's how soldiers are improved. Looks like I need to find a skilled blacksmith lord to help me, Suyi said while looking at the blueprints. Honestly, selling these to others makes him feel a bit sad. But if they are for his own subordinate lord, that's a different story. A subordinate lord, in nice words, is an ally. In harsh terms, is a slave. Lords have the power to kill or spare at will. That's what makes someone a subordinate lord. Some might ask, would anyone want to become a subordinate lord? Isn't that just slavery? In reality, many want to become powerful lord subordinates, but few have the qualifications. You need to be recognized by the lord first. What do you think a lord is? Is it just a game? Concepts like kindness don't really matter to lords, especially for lower-level ones. Even Suyi, who wants to rise, knows he has to fight and take what he needs to grow stronger. There is a saying, eat what benefits you. Suffering alone won't make you a top person, you need talent. Later, I'll find someone slowly. Creating these things isn't easy, and the materials aren't cheap, Suyi thought, giving up on the idea of immediately finding a vassal lord. Of course, if he encountered one, he could accept them early. Suyi looked at the small sapling in his hand. It was a golden tree, with each leaf shining with a golden glow. Name: Origin Divine Tree Level. Divine Feature 1. Origin Energy. Can gather origin energy from the void and concentrate it in the territory to boost the strength of troops. Feature 2. Dimensional Upgrade. Enhances the territory's dimensional space. Feature 3. Stabilize the foundation. Stabilizes space and time. Feature 4. Attribute-less Divinity. Can condense attribute-less divine fruit to increase divine power. Feature 5. Immortal and Undying. Fuses with the territory, making the territory immortal and the divine tree unkillable. P.S. It's a level 1 spiritual root with incredible powers, capable of condensing divine power, increasing dimensions, and stabilizing space and time. Suyi looked at the sapling with a happy smile. This is a good thing. The origin tree can improve the strength of troops, which is obvious. It also means Suyi has another way to boost his troops' power. He no longer relies solely on the wine pool, meat forest, and spiritual source lake to strengthen his troops. In the end, relying only on the spiritual source lake and wine pool was a bit limiting. Now, with the origin divine tree, his troops can level up just by staying in the territory. As mentioned before, regardless of the Lord's level, recruited troops are always 1-star black iron. This leads to a common problem for high-level lords: training soldiers. Newly recruited troops can't level up immediately, so they need training. Only after leveling up can they be used effectively. For high-level lords, this is the most painful part. But with the origin divine tree, Suyi no longer has to worry about training soldiers. Adding the wine pool, meat forest, and the origin divine tree together, he at least doesn't need to worry about troop strength before reaching diamond level. Of course, the speed of leveling up troops still varies, but he doesn't need to worry about training issues. The second feature, Dimensional Upgrade, is even more incredible. Enhancing the territory dimension is important because the world has different levels: black iron, bronze, silver, gold, and so on. Each upgrade represents a higher level of the world's dimension. This is not a joke. The world's dimension affects many aspects, especially the maximum potential of living beings. In a black iron dimension world, the limit is bronze. This shows how the world's dimension influences everything. For example, two beings might be the same, but one in a black iron dimension and the other in a silver dimension, and their limits are completely different. This is just one example of how different world dimensions can be. In the future, Suyi will also face the challenge of upgrading the world's dimension. However, that is a distant goal, beyond what Suyi can think about now. The third special feature is Stability, which helps keep the space steady. For Suyi, this is a good thing. Even though there are barriers like the Sighing Wall, everyone wants their territory to be more secure. The fourth feature is the Attribute-less Divine Nature. This is even more incredible. Divine nature usually has attributes. It is a combination of a living being's own attributes and the rules they understand. This is divine nature, a higher form of power. Attribute-less divine nature can improve divine power. For gods, this is a rare treasure. If gods or their leaders knew Suyi had this, they would rush to take it. Gods can only increase their divine nature over time or by swallowing rules of the same attribute. Leaders of worlds don't have training methods like that. So, improving divine nature is a slow process. The last feature is the property of the source divine tree itself. Once planted, it becomes part of Suyi's territory, sharing both glory and loss. Suyi planted a golden sapling near the spirit source lake. A small tree, about 2 or 3 meters tall, appeared in Suyi's territory. Its golden branches rustled in the wind, swaying constantly. An indescribable energy appeared, source energy. Within the territory, Lilith and others preparing for battle also noticed strange, unclear phenomena occurring. These things were slowly increasing their strength. Lord God Emperor, you truly are favored by the eternal will, Lilith thought with a smile, feeling her power gradually growing inside her. This change was something she had never experienced before. Other hero units also sensed their own strength slowly increasing. Meanwhile, Suyi looked at the last item from the SSS level Abyss difficulty treasure chest, the Immortal Soul Jade. Name: Immortal Soul Jade level. Unique attribute. Exclusive to the Lord's special traits. 1. Soul immunity, immune to soul attacks. any soul attack is ineffective. 2. Nurturing nourishes the soul, making it stronger. 3. Light of immortality. The eternal divine nature nourishes your soul, creating an immortal divine spirit. Suyi took a deep breath, gazing at the ancient jade in his hand, which shone with an immortal glow. This item was on the same level as the Divine King's treasury, an exclusive item. It was specially designed to protect his soul. Suyi was most afraid of encountering enemies who targeted the soul, as such attacks were hard to defend against. Some enemies had curses, poisons, and other terrifying abilities that were difficult to guard against. With this item, Suyi no longer needed to worry about being secretly cursed or poisoned by enemies. System, bind the immortal soul jade, Suyi said in a deep voice. Ding. Do you want to bind the immortal soul jade to your soul? Once bound, it cannot be traded and will completely disappear after death. Bind it. Bind it, Suyi said eagerly. Without binding, what was the point of keeping it? The ancient jade shone brightly and merged directly into Suyi's forehead. He felt a warm sensation throughout his body. This warmth came from deep within his soul. His strength was not yet enough. If he could see his soul space, Suyi would find a golden sun shining with immortal light, nourishing his soul. This was the main reason for his warm feeling. But more than that, Suyi felt an unprecedented clarity. All the past experiences appeared before him. As soon as Suyi thought about it, he could clearly remember past events, no longer feeling vague or blurry. Comfortable, Suyi said with a smile on his face. He has powerful defenses like the king of the immortal treasury, and his soul is protected by the immortal soul jade. His armor is also very strong. I just feel comfortable, Suyi said with a smile. Suyi checked the time and decided it was still early. He would wait another hour before considering opening the gate of the rift. For now, he wanted Lilith and the others to rest well. The battle across dimensions was not something to take lightly, especially for Suyi. Although his troops were strong, there was always a chance things could go wrong. As time passed, Suyi watched the live stream while waiting for the hour to go by. Most of the stream was about exploring new dimension worlds, but a small part was dedicated to the live broadcasts of Brother Pi and Sister Pi. An hour had passed. Lilith, Talus, Ista, Pangelia, Kesha, Aladiz, Dalmis, Suyi called out. 7 figures appeared before him one after another. Are you all ready? Suyi asked Lilith and the others. Your Majesty, we are ready, Lilith replied. Above Suyi's territory, there was a neat formation of special troops belonging to these heroes. Original Sin Fallen Angels, Pure Blood Fallen Angels, Genetic Forbidden Army, Light and Dark Dragons, Ancient Black Gold Dragons, Holy Angels, Valkyries, and the Sullen Moon. Open the Dimensional Rift? Suyi commanded. Ding. Do you want to open the Dimensional Rift? Once opened, the Rift Gate will stay active for 12 hours. Please be careful. Open it, Suyi said firmly. A dimensional rift, about 20 meters high and 10 meters wide, appeared in Suyi's territory. It looked like a swirling vortex standing on the grass. Lilith and the others looked at the rift. King of the gods, I will go first, Aladiz said. Her Valkyrie army behind her was already ready for battle. Suyi nodded. Aladiz's eyes shone with fighting spirit. Her dragon-scaled Pegasus transformed into a white meteor and shot into the rift. The other Valkyries followed closely behind, riding Pegasus, holding spears, and rushing into the dimensional rift like shooting stars. 1 minute later, a female warrior returned. God King, it is safe now, she said to Suyi. Go ahead. After you pass through, wait for me at the original spot, Suyi said after a moment of silence. Lilith led the original Sin Fallen Angels into the portal, while Ista, Kesha, and Dalmis each led their own troops into the dimensional rift. God King, Pangelia knelt before Suyi, signaling him to ride on her back. She then entered the portal with him. Suyi didn't hesitate and sat directly on Pangelia's back. Roar, Pangelia roared, and her ancient black gold dragon guards gathered around her. The genetic army led by Talus also followed closely behind Suyi into the portal. After a brief feeling of discomfort, Suyi stood on Pangelia's back and crossed through the dimensional gate into this new world. What he saw first was countless green plants. Before he could observe more, a system notification sounded. Ding, data synchronization starting. Ding, reading world information. Ding! Data synchronization complete. Treasure chest generated. You have 12 hours to explore this world. Ding! World information collected. This is a black iron dimension world in the technological side. Due to certain reasons, a terrible disaster has occurred, causing all living beings in this dimension to be wiped out. Only mindless mutated monsters remain. Suyi rubbed his forehead and looked at this world. The good news is that this world is an untouched virgin land. The reason is simple. If anyone had been here before, there would be no system prompt. This type of data synchronization system only appears for the first lord who steps into this world. A lord can be understood as a tentacle of the eternal world's will. That's also why all lords have the authority to open dimensional rifts. Ultimately, lords need to grow stronger through the rules of the eternal world's will. The will of the eternal world uses the lord's invasions of other worlds to strengthen itself. This is a well-known fact among all lord worlds. As for the purpose of the eternal worlds while invading other worlds, that's something Suyi cannot know right now. The eternal world is very large, so large that even gods cannot explore it all. The origin of the eternal world is lost to history, but the existence of lords, in a way, serves as a tool to expand this world. This is what a lord is. Lords and the eternal world depend on each other. You could say they use or manipulate each other. In short, their relationship is like that. Suyi looked at the black iron dimensional world in front of him. He finished sharing the good news and now moved on to the bad news. The bad news is that this world is a science-oriented world. For Suyi, this isn't a good thing because the items found in treasure chests here are all products of the science side. Originally, this dimension didn't have treasure chests. They only appeared after a lord entered this world. Data synchronization isn't simple. More specifically, once Suyi stepped into this black iron dimension, its rules had already been influenced by the will of the eternal world. That's why treasure chests and similar things exist. However, the items generated from these black iron dimension chests will only be of the original system of this world. Since this world is science-based, the items inside the chests will only be scientific in nature, not from other systems. Science-based items are too low-level, Suyi said as he looked at this world. If it were a high-level world, it would be fine, but clearly, this is a low-level world. This is somewhat unsuitable for Suyi. I hope there are more monsters in this world. Even if I can't get good items, I can at least use it as a training ground, Suyi thought as he looked at this world. The resources in this world should still be available, but Suyi can't develop them now. That doesn't mean he won't be able to in the future. With this in mind, open the dimensional gate, lock onto this world, and seal it, Suyi commanded. An ancient door appeared over this world, with countless chains extending from it, sealing off the black iron dimension. Ding! The dimension has been anchored. You can view details in the dimensional gate. Ding! The dimension has been sealed. You can view details in the dimensional gate. 2 notification sounds rang out. Suyi looked at this black iron dimension. Anchoring is a feature of the dimensional gate. Even after 12 hours, Suyi can still enter this world at any time. The blockade means that this world belongs exclusively to Suyi. Other lords cannot access it through dimensional rifts. To enter this world, one must first observe it, then break through its barrier with strength. In simple terms, once this world is locked down, it becomes Suyi's private garden. Let's give it a name. I'll call it Number 1 Technology Black Iron World, Suyi said, opening the attribute panel of the dimensional gate and marking this world as the Number 1 Technology Black Iron World. Number 1 indicates that this is the first world Suyi discovered. Technology represents the system of this world, and black iron signifies its level. Okay, done, Suyi said, looking at the mark on the dimensional gate. In that case, could I keep exploiting this world for free? Suyi thought, touching his chin. With his authority combined with the dimensional gate, he could continuously access new worlds without cost. It seems possible. That way, he wouldn't need to sacrifice spirit stones to open the gate anymore. But that was just a thought. When the time comes to sacrifice spirit stones, Suyi would still do it. As Suyi was pondering, Aelide's voice sounded. God King, enemies detected. Suyi looked at Aelide, then followed her gaze. A crimson flood appeared before Suyi. Countless red torrents rushed toward him from all directions. Upon closer inspection, These blood-colored flows were twisted flesh and blood creatures. They looked strange. Some had tentacles growing